Hi, I'm Scott. I'm going to show you a simple way to save hundreds of dollars over the next few years on your motorcycle, snowblower, generator, hell, even your car. Coming up next on GoldwingDocs. I've taken my bike apart today so I can show you exactly what it is I'm talking about. One of the most expensive things you have to replace on a regular basis on your motorcycle is the battery. Motorcycle batteries don't get used as much as car batteries, and for that reason they tend not to last as long as a car battery. You might get 2 years, 3 at the outside of a motorcycle battery, and you got to replace it. Where a car battery, you could go 10 years or more without having to replace it. And for a big bike like a Goldwing, you really need an AGM or absorbed glass mat battery rather than a traditional flooded lead acid battery in order to generate the current that this bike needs to start, especially when it's cold. And these batteries aren't cheap. This battery here is $120 and you can get far more expensive ones than that. Why do we have to replace these batteries? Well, lead acid batteries, and that includes AGM batteries, are very sensitive to discharge, and they will discharge themselves over time when you just let it sit. Now, bikes like the Goldwing that have a radio and a clock in it, they continually discharge the battery in order to keep that stuff running when the bike is turned off. So there is a current drain on this battery at all times, even if it's just a tiny amount. But that said, lead acid batteries will self-discharge over time as well. So even if you just disconnect this battery and let it sit, it's going to discharge. And if you get it down to a certain level, it affects the overall life of the battery. The more times you let the battery discharge, the shorter the overall life of that battery is going to be. Lead acid batteries want to be topped up all the time. That's what gets them to last for years and years. Now that said, this is a Moto bat. I'm on year 4 with this battery and it's still working like it's brand new. The battery I had in here before this, I think it was 7 or 8 years out of it. It was a Yuasa. So if motorcycle batteries only last 1 or 2 years, maybe 3 at the outside, how did I get 8 years and 4 years out of this battery? That's the secret. And how do we go about that? With this, Battery Tender Junior. Yes, I know there's lots of battery chargers and you say, oh, it's just a battery charger, you plug it in. That's stupid. No, it's not. This is not just a battery charger. This has actual microprocessor inside. Now you might say, but I can go to Harbor Freight and buy a $9 float charger and it works great. Well, it's not the same thing at all. Most float chargers, including the Harbor Freight cheapie and battery chargers in general, put out a specific voltage and a constant current at the battery, regardless of the state of charge of the battery. The battery could be at a 100% state of charge, which means it can't accept any more charge, and that charger is still forcing current into the battery. That's really bad for the battery. What happens then is that the plates get sulfated. So the available space on the lead plate for the electrons and ions to actually attach to actually generate electricity get covered up. And so while the battery may still put out 12 volts, it can only put out a fraction of the current. And at some point, it's going to get so compromised that it no longer has enough current to actually crank the engine. As you approach the current limit of the battery that it's capable of producing, the voltage will drop. So you'll notice if your battery is sulfated, you might be able to turn on your bike and the headlight and everything comes on, but the instant you press the starter, everything just dies. That's the sign of a sulfated battery. So we're trying to avoid sulfation. So plugging in that Harbor Freight cheapie onto your battery with a constant current charger and no intelligence, it's just going to force current into that battery, and in a fairly short amount of time, it will destroy your battery and it will no longer work. And I speak from experience. I actually tried one of the Harbor Freight cheapies and destroyed a $100 battery with it. So why do we want the Battery Tender Junior? The Battery Tender Junior is very different in that it has a microprocessor inside that watches the state of charge of the battery. It adjusts the current output depending on the state of charge. So if the battery is low, it will put the most amount of current out. As the state of charge gets close to the top, it will reduce that current, so it ramps down the charge current, which is good for the battery. And once the battery gets to 100% state of charge, it turns off entirely. It stops charging. Now the battery is going to self-discharge over time again, and when it does and it drops down to a certain percentage state of charge, Battery Tender switches back on and brings it right back up. And in doing so, it keeps the battery in its happy place. So the Battery Tender keeps that battery exactly where it needs to be in order for that battery to have the longest overall life. And that's how I get 8 years out of a battery that most people only get 2 years out of. Now the battery tender comes with you know, a couple of connections, and you got these clips so you could hook this into your battery. You might say, well, that's really inconvenient. I got to take my bike apart and hook these clips up to the battery every time I park my bike. No, that's ridiculous. Yes, you could, and yet you might want to use this on your snowblower or something along those lines. What they do is they give you a hard line that you can permanently install in the bike, and that's what I've done here. So I've got the wire coming directly off the battery for the negative and for the positive, and that wire runs across underneath here, and then I've got it coming up inside my cubby right here. So if I open my cubby, you can see the connection for my battery tender right here. So what I do is I run my bike into the garage, park it, and I have my battery tender wire right here. I reach down here, open the cubby, plug it in. As soon as I do that, battery tender goes to work, starts analyzing the battery, turns on to charge if needs be. If nothing, it just goes in standby mode. I do that every time I park my bike. I park it, plug it in. When I get on the bike, unplug it, close the cubby, I'm ready to go. They also make extensions, so if your electrical outlet is far away from where you park your bike, you can get this simple extension cord. One end simply plugs into here, and the other end plugs into your bike. Now there's some other kind of cool accessories you can get, things that plug into the battery tender connector on your bike. This is one of them here. It's actually a battery tender voltage meter. And because this connector is connected to the battery permanently, I can just pull that out, plug the meter into it, and the meter lights up green and shows that I have 13.0 volts on my battery. I will put a link to the Battery Tender Junior, the Battery Tender Junior voltage meter, as well as the MotoBat in the description below, along with links to reviews of all these products and many more on the GoldwingDocs forum. We have some really fantastic reviews of lots of different motorcycle products on there. Looking for a Christmas gift? Hey, here's your idea list. Hey, if you liked this video and you found it useful, please click like down below and leave a comment and let us know, because it really helps us out. If you didn't like the video and you thought it was kind of useless, click like down below because it really helps us out. Also, as always, please click subscribe and the little bell down below, and you'll get notified whenever we have a new video so you never miss out. Thanks for watching.